Okay, today is January the 16th, 2010. We're here chatting with filmmaker, director, writer, Mr. Hur Sepher, prolific Iranian Jewish filmmaker who recently produced, directed, wrote, and completed the desperate Holocaust-related film. Welcome, Mr. Sepher. Thanks so much for chatting with us. Can you give us a little background on your career as a filmmaker? I understand that you've worked with a number of very influential filmmakers yourself.
Well, I go back to a while ago, and I'm a dinosaur. Some of my friends refer to me, and go back to years ago where I studied in Sweden, in Svensk Filmskolan, and then I work in the Dramaten and Stockholm Stadsteatern, which is the state theater, with people like Bergman, Sundström, Jarl Koulé, people like Wilke Sherman, some of these filmmakers, Swedish filmmakers and theatrical directors. And then I went back to Iran, and I was working, for the Iranian American Society for a while, directing for the theater plays for the Americans stationed in Iran. Mostly working for Bell Helicopter, and we had about like 40,000 Americans in Iran, believe it or not. So, and then I was working off and on for as a filmmaker for the Shah, and made some documentaries, and I was active in other areas. And then but the revolution arrived, and we had to leave that country. It was madness, and we had to leave everything behind and come over. So that's briefly about my past. And here I have been working, off and on with some projects, mostly writing, TV, scripts for television, editing, and I made a couple of documentaries about the history of the Jewish people, and I've done some short films. I've done, well, a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Producing, directing, writing.
Can you tell us a little bit about your film, The Desperate? Deals with a Jewish gentleman who is in the concentration camp. Give us some background on your motivation in making this film. I know what's been going on in Iran, what's being said about the Holocaust was something that influenced this film.
Well, the motivation is tolerance, and as we are all human beings, and if you take the religion and nationalities, and you take all those labels away, we are all the same. We are human beings, and we should tolerate each other. And if we don't, then we are going to see holocausts. We're going to see events that should not happen in history, but they do happen, unfortunately, because we have a problem tolerating each other. We cannot accept each other for who we are. That is a big problem, in my opinion, and it has been happening over and over and over again. And I'm sad to say that it will go on. And people like myself, I am concerned about this problem, and I'm really hurt by the Holocaust, and I still cannot believe it. To me, it's like a dream, like a nightmare. And regarding this, The Desperate, this is based on a true story that was told to me by the lieutenant who was in the film, who happened to be in that room. And many years ago, he told me this story. He was a Nazi lieutenant who was in the surgery room, and where the story takes place. And I never forgot this story, and I always wanted to make a film based on this story. And of course, when you're making a film based on a true story, it makes it a lot more credible and a lot more real and a lot more valuable. So I always wanted to make this story. It's a tremendous story that has to be told. It's a story of compassion, of forgiveness, and tolerance, and also it's a story of humanity, about how a human being should be. And this doctor, our character, Dr. Blumenthal, which is not, of course, his real name, it's a fictitious name, he shows us in this story what a human being should be and how he should behave in the most desperate moments. Of course, I don't want to give the film away, but those who have seen the film, they have really been very impressed with the story, and it's a very touching story. We can learn a lot from it, and it is very necessary for everyone to see this film, or films like this, especially based on true stories. And I'm glad to say that it has been very well received by everybody, critics, people that I know, people that I don't know, people who are in the business, people who are not in the business, and I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of it because it does have a tremendous message that we should all follow.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for coming.